to Beyond the Lines. It's time to finish Jack Randall. No, there's no murder here. It's finishing the coloring page, folks. Sheesh, I know, we all want him maybe not in the story anymore. Anyway, I'm going to finish this particular page here with a bit of colored pencil and gel pens. And this is a page in the Outlander coloring book. So if you have this book and you want to color along, feel free. I would love to see your coloring. Maybe you have colored that page already. I would love to see, so hit me up on either Instagram or Twitter. I can see things there best and quickest. So if you want to share with me, I'd be very happy to see your work and talk to you. I will show you how I pull the horse and person into the foreground even more with a little bit of colored pencil and make it a bit more refined. Last week I had the I don't want to say underpainting, but pretty much the first layer done with alcohol markers, and today it's time for the details. The blog post for this particular page will be up at the end of the video, so you can check out all the pencil numbers and marker numbers and things that I used. If you find something super interesting there and want to try it in your drawings, paintings, artwork, coloring, whatever it is that you use maybe these videos as inspiration for. So you don't have to write anything down, just enjoy, watch along, maybe art along. I would love that. And yeah, let's see what I do there, right? Time to finish Mr. Randall. Well, not that way, but finish that coloring page. So last week I did all the underpainting here with different kinds of alcohol markers, and the link is in the iCards and you can see how I did that. And today I want to work on a little bit of shading and details there. And for that, I'm having the colored pencils. These are no special ones. They're just wax-based colored pencils, grocery store quality, but they're all Faber-Castell, if I remember correctly. So back in the day when I was at school, I did already paint with them. There's a few Herlitz colored pencils in between. They came from hubby's stash of colored pencils back when he was at school, but mainly Faber-Castell, so they don't really have a number or anything or a name. So on the blog post I will write down numbers when they have them. Like here it says on these it says 3 numbers, so that one here, which is a light ochre, is a 383, and these 2 dark browns are 76 and 80. So I will just write the numbers down, but mainly the thing here is to have a color that is closest to what you want to color, and then just have a little bit of a darker shade. So for example, I do have this light tree here, and I just want to emphasize some of those lines that were already drawn in by the artist that made this wonderful line work. So I'm just going in and shading the tree a bit, and going over the line work on the bark here of the tree. A bit more with a heavier hand there, because I don't want to smudge or smooth out anything. As I said in last week's video, the style that I want to go for this particular coloring page is almost a print style. So I'm not having 100 million very thin layers of colored pencil here. I'm just shading a few things, but rather in a bold way, not too many subtle layers there. But I actually just want to have a bit of a oomph and a bit of a detail in those parts that I already colored. So the brown that I do have here is like a nougat brown or a Van Dyke. So a cold brown. See, that is already enough for me personally. So I'm going on to another of those light trees here, doing the same thing. Emphasizing line work and shading a bit. So I'm having two cold browns here. The one that is with the alcohol marker and the one that I'm just putting down with the pencil here. I do have one more of these light brown trees. So again, going over the line work, shading like that. This is supposed to be looking like a cartoon or print thing. Very bold in the way the colors do blend or not blend, as they just overlay sometimes here with the colored pencils where I don't want too much to blend. Actually want things to stand out and have texture. So the colored pencil is for the texture and the alcohol marker is for the smoothness that has the texture on top. Okay, now the bottom of the tree. Did I have every branch? Yes, I did. Bottom of the tree. Okay. Need a sip of tea. Before I go on to those tiny, thin, light trees here, just to do the same thing, add a bit of texture and shading. Not much, it's just very little. See, just that line, ta-da, you have a shadow. It is so easy to have a bit of oomph put into your coloring or drawing or painting, whatever it is that you do, with just a very little amount of effort put in. It's just, with this particular style, it is so easy. So the light brown that the dark brown that I'm going to use now is a different one. It has more of a yellowish tint. So it is a little less of a cold tone. It still kind of is, but it is not as cold as the Van Dyke here. So doing the same thing, working with texture, medium to heavy hand, medium heavy to heavy. I want this not to blend and be subtle. I want this to stand out, make the tree more textured. Same here on those branches. This is such an easy way to, well, color the background. I'm probably gonna take a little bit more time when it comes to the focal points, so coming to Jack Randall. But here for the background, I can really just go in and add a little texture and ta-da, you're good.
there, a little there. Good to go up here. So I can go for those roots. And when you work with a coloring book or a drawing that is just line work and that you did not do on your own, take a longer look at the way the artist who made that line work worked, and if you can maybe use that to your advantage. Very many artists have dots or lines where they think the shadow should be. So by coloring in that section, have that part be darker, you actually can work with the line work and enhance the feeling of, oh, there's a darker part. That's a shadow part, because you work with the line work that makes things darker if it has shadings. This one here has not so much a shadow as it has texture. That is kind of in the shadowy parts maybe a bit, but not as much as it is with other artists. But here on the tree trunk, it's just a lovely texture there for the bark. Wonderful line work. And all of that on the trees here is medium heavy to heavy hand. Having a bit of a glare, so I have to curl it a bit. Okay, a little more here, also here. An eraser, a little bit too much of a color pencil there, so I'm just whoop, erasing that. Then I can go back to that. Little part here to color in the branches. And I can go on here for the roots and for the trees in the background. Just a bit of excuse me, pigment laid down. That's that. There we go. These are all the trees, at least the wood part. Now I would do the same now with the leaves, which means I have to get a bit of green. And I'm going for this one. And actually more of a yellowish light, what's it called? Light ochre. And I'm going in just to add a bit of color. Maybe I do need a bit of a lighter green. So this is a lime green almost. No, I actually don't need it, so I'm just going in a bit of the olive tone. Just a little bit, not too much. I don't want the background to move to the foreground by having that background so blurry. Actually helps to also put it into the background again. I'm going to use this light ochre just a little bit, not too much. And I need a dark green. Can put you back. I'm not gonna use you, but I need a dark green. Let's see. Oh, that's a medium tone. Ah, there it is. Dark green for the mossy bits here. I'm also gonna need a very dark blue. I like this one best. Blue is a wonderful color to shade with, especially when you have red or brown as the color to be shaded. It's very lovely. Yep. And then a little bit of the dark green on top. There we go. A bit of the leafy bits and everything be visible. Just squiggling over that part. Okay, that would be those trees. Now the leaves here on the horse definitely need a bit of the yellow ochre. And the same goes for that part here. So I'm mainly taking the olive green just to add a little bit of texture and shading and everything. Just a little bit more interest. Not too much though. Just a bit. Then the dark blue on the moss. And also the dark green. And the final tree that is close to the viewer. All right, so the whole upper section is shaded now in the background. I'm not going to take care of that part down here for now, because I will smudge things that are background or foreground, but, well, lower than what I need to color here. I would smudge with my hand here, and I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to leave the background for now. I do have an indication on how dark I have to get, because I do have the details or shadows up there, so that should be totally fine for me. And I will now work on Jack Randall and the horse before I work on the rest for the background. So I need a black, I need like a buttery yellow. I think it is this one. Let's see. It's a little too yellow. So let's go for that one then. Ooh. Yeah, that's the one. Or is it that one too? It's the same but a little lighter. Okay, so I'm going to take these. I need a skin tone. I can take the beige for that, and a bit of the yellow ochre. I can also, let's see, need a bit for the cream to have a bit of shading there. Yeah, maybe you are the right one. I have another dark blue indigo, I think. If that's the one. Let's see. Nope. And it is, maybe. Did I put it? It's not in this bundle, so it has to be in this one. Oh, there it is. There's the one. Have the blue for the pants too. I need a red. I totally forgot the red. Oh no. Oh gosh. Maybe that one. No. Oh no. No. Then it might be this one. A little bit too cold too. A little too light. What are you? Oh, you're the one. All right. So that should actually be all that I'm going to use for anything Jack Randall and horse. So let's start off with the hat of Jack. So I'm having like a Payne's gray bluish tint, which on top of blue looks indigo. So a very dark blue. And I can color that here. I think about, yeah, I think I'm going to zoom you in a little bit. Just for you to be able to see maybe a little bit better. So there we got it. And now I go in with a black. So we do have a fold here that has to be added, like with a shadow. And of course, also here on the rim. Like that. Then I need the cream color for whatever it is that he has on his head. Also a little bit of the light brown to even darken the color even more, and the yellow on the hat thing. I totally forgot what I wanted to say. So yeah, going on to the face, working with the cream color to darken stuff, just by being the shading color. It doesn't mean that it is black and white here, but it is just even one more layer than the light sections are, and that will darken enough. Going to color the eyebrows. Also the eyes. And now I can go on to the bow here. And the shirt, going to take in a smidge of the light brown, just a little bit. Maybe it needs a little bit of the brown here. Yeah, that's enough. Now I can go on with the yellow again for these bits here. There's gonna be, like I said, a bit of Wink of Stella is gonna be on that. So I'm having the yellow. And then this light ochre for the darker parts. Okay. Now I need to bring in the red. Hardly visible, so I'm thinking about switching the reds. Yeah, gonna switch it to a reddish brown. I think this one will work. Yeah, it's like a maroon color. So I'm taking that. And this is a reddish brown, so it will be very subtly working with the red underneath. Which makes it easy to shade very lightly. I'm still working with the line work that the artist gave me. And that helps me to shade the coat here with those faults, creases, wrinkles and valleys in the coat there. The pocket here. Can put in the yellow. Inner part of the coat, of course, has to be colored a bit more as well. Need black for the leather thing here, for the sword. Okay. A little more red here on the sleeve and also here on the lap. Enhancing a few more of those lines, making those wrinkles even more visible. Putting in a little bit of yellow for that part here. Now a bit of cream and the light brown for the sleeve here. Need a bit of black for the second part of that sword holder thing. And then I can color the sword with the light brown, the yellow, more light brown. I'm gonna bring in the brown that I worked on this tree on, which has a yellowish tint in there, but is a little darker. So that is that. With that same two browns, so the light one and the one that I used on the sword and the tree, I'm going to shade the bag. for the blanket and the pants, I'm going to use that bluish gray. Sorry for the background noise, but I do have kids playing. So they're playing on the streets. It's actually summer vacation that I'm filming this. It's like the first week or something, second week maybe. So of course kids are playing. Taking a little bit of the black. For the darkest shadow here. And also here underneath the coat and everything. Things will maybe look a bit more black than indigo. So for the blanket, going with those lines for the wrinkles. And a little bit of black underneath the saddle to shade with a very, very light touch. Then I need a little bit of yellow here on that tassel. And also a little bit of the yellow ochre for the darker parts here. Same goes for that blanket. Dark parts with the yellow ochre, light parts with the yellow. Now on this fur up here, I'm having a bit of the cream color and the light brown, just a little bit, the darkest spots. And can put aside the yellow already. I don't need that. The coat is also done, I think. Let me see. Yep, looking good. So I'm not gonna need that anymore. Which means that I'm working mainly with the browns now to shade the saddle. And also the bag here. And on the skin, on the hand, need a bit of that cream color, also the lightest brown. Okay, now I can go ahead and shade the boot with black. Also here I'm going with the line work and the buckle and everything that is provided by the artist that made the line work. And I'm just darkening some bits and pieces, and others I'm gonna leave as it is with the words with the alcohol marker. So I'm having those darker creases here darkened up, bit of the black pencil there. So here. And the reflection is the light gray, or where the lighter gray where the light hits it. Now with that strip here, so need a bit of pencil, and then I can go in and shade that bit of leather here. Just with a black pencil, nothing fancy. But I'm shading it towards the bottom. Same here. It has to be something like this. And now I can move on to the horse itself. So I'm going to use I think black and brown, but first I'm going to take a sip of tea. I'm going to start at the right hand side so that I smudge as little as possible, and I just go over the lines that were given to me by the artist. Again, just a little bit of the shadow there where there's more lines, because lines mean dark. So need a little bit of the black from the very darks here. Like that. Then I can move forward here to the shorter fur of the horse. Just shade the lower side, and again work with the lines that is that are given to me for the muscles here, for the movement. Just going to work with that. And that is done with a medium hand, and the light shading here is with a light hand, just a little bit. Underneath that blanket here, I'm using the black pencil to shade. Same underneath that bag and underneath the coat. Also shadow of the sword. Then I'm going to blend out that shading with the brown, just a little bit, not too much. So I have a little bit of shadow of the boot here, but again, just the tiniest bit, not too much. Shadow here of this side of the blanket. Then I can go in with the brown and pull that shadow forward. Then underneath the body where the legs are, the one that's further away, it's a bit darker than the one on the front. Coming towards the neck. Again, very light touch. I'm barely putting any pressure on my pencil. It's more like a very light controlled movement across the paper. Going to use the black to shade underneath that leather strip here, and also underneath the hair of the mane, just a bit. And here, then I can come to the ears. And the rest of the head. Going to have a little bit of black for the nostrils, also for the mouth, and underneath that little leathery string here. And then I can go on with that mane here. And I'm just, like I said earlier, I'm just following the line work. A little bit of black there, just to enhance contrast. Okay. Putting in some black lines just to separate the mane from the tree trunk in the back. Okay. I need this bit here. Okay. For the eye, I'm not gonna take the dark brown, I'm just gonna take the black to shade things. And that is all with the colored pencil for that part, other than these two leaves here to be colored too, as well as this one, and that one. And then I can move on to the last little bit, which is the lower part. Here I'm not gonna do any shading on the clouds or anything. This is not what I'm going for, just this little bit here. And then I can work with gel pens and glitter pens to have a little bit of gold or silver, metal there. I'm not gonna shade the trees in the back very much. Just taking the brown that I used on the light brown trees, because I haven't shaded those here, just had shaded those. And then I'm gonna take could actually take the same dark brown just to add a little bit of line work here and there, and not very much because I'm actually not shading that part of the background too much, but I don't want to get rid of the details here from the leaves and those trees here, so I'm just going to add them with a dark brown. Same as the bushes down here. Just add a few squiggle lines with that brown to, well, keep the illusion of light and shadow there. Okay. Maybe I need a bit more here. There we go. Now I need the greens again. So the dark green the olive green and the yellow ochre. Then I also need black and the bluish gray. And I need the yellowish brown. But that one I have to sharpen a bit. Okay, let's start with the stone. Z, plural. Just going over the lines. Enhancing the texture on it. And also shading. Same for this stone here. Then I'm also going to add a light touch of black. To shade things. Going in with the brown for the roots. Oh, I had the roots already done. I do have a glare here because the wax-based pencils do build up quite a bit. So I hadn't seen that I already shaded that. So I can go on to the what I think is moss. Going in with the olive green first. And working with the line work. Just going pretty much over those squiggly lines that make for the texture in the bush, the moss, the forest floor, whatever it is. I think it's moss. I like that idea of mossy bits there. And again, this is not necessarily shading, but it is enhancing the texture of this little bit here. Now I'm moving on to the dark green and I'm shading underneath these wooden pieces here. Also here on this one, probably also needs a bit of a shadow and behind that stone. And for the rest, a little bit of the light olive. You have to remember not to shade it too heavily, because this is not the focal point. Though this is sitting in front of Jack Randall when it comes to the viewer, it is not the focal point. So I want the eye to not be resting on the mossy bits here, but I want the eye to be guided to Mr. Randall there. I think I'm going to add a little bit of black. Some bits are still a little bit too light. You see, without glare. Yep, that's all I'm gonna color. And now I can come in with a gel pen. So I need the golden wink of Stella, of course, but I also need a golden gel pen and a silver one. Let's see if I have some without glitter. No, I don't, so let's take one with glitter. Oh, and I also need white for reflection in the eye, and I also need a little bit of a black marker to just darken the eye of the horse. Not of Jack, just the horse. And while that dries, I can go over yellow bits with the Wink of Stella Gold. The coat here, I'm not having too much of the glitter because, well, the coat actually doesn't really glitter. It's just that yellowish inner part, but I think that the blanket has golden thread used, so that one will glitter. Then I can move on to the golden gel pen and have the letters, like his initials, be colored. Okay. And same goes for the silver one, for the metal here. there. Then here on the back, all of those buckles. And same goes here with the horse. There's one. There's one. There is one, and the ring here too. And all that's left to do is add a little bit of white gel pen in the eye of the horse as a reflection. And there you have it. This is how I color Mr. Jack Randall. Let me zoom you back out. That is it. I hope you enjoyed watching along. Next week, I'm gonna start the next section of color to talk about, and the next one is gonna be blue. So I'm only gonna paint monochrome or color monochrome things with the 4 different media that I use, and I'm gonna have those 4 videos up for you starting next week. And I will see you hopefully back on this channel and on this show whenever a new video is released. If you have any questions or comments, please do not hesitate to put them in the comment section below. I will be very happy to answer anything that comes up there. The blog post for this particular page here is going to be up by now, where you can read up on all of the marker numbers and gel pens and stuff that I use. You can also find some close-up photos there if you want to work on that particular page on your own, or just like a color combo and want to use it for another drawing or a coloring page or a painting or something. Feel free, no problem at all, to just look it up and use the same color combo. That's why I make that show, to maybe inspire you a little bit. And thank you very much for watching till the end. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel and you haven't done so already, please subscribe and hit that bell button so that you're notified whenever I release a new video. Oopsie, I need to drink something. I have such a dry throat from talking. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna leave you to it. Have fun, folks. Have a wonderful day and do something nice for you that you very much enjoy. Whatever it is that pampers your soul. Have fun, folks. And thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.